Welcome to another ROBCast. At the moment, I'm turning off the PS3 because the music on it is probably copyright. Today, welcome to a podcast with me, Robert Gammon, and this is episode 24, 25. I don't actually know. And that's for episodes in general, so not just ROBcasts and RBS specials and oranges, apples, and so on. It's also my other videos too, the ones of walking men and stuff. So today I'm going to talk about what did I talk about? I'm going to talk about how to write a book. Well, books are a common medium that I use. Now, for many people who read online, many people read on their devices. Some people have an Amazon Kindle or whatever. But for me, writing involves a basic understanding that in order to write a book, you need a manuscript. So a manuscript is just like a notebook. Just buy a notebook from a shop and then write down what you want. You need to know your audience. So obviously you need your audience. What is your audience? Is it going to be for younger people? Is it going to be for gardeners? What would they want to hear? So then you need to write down, what do gardeners actually like to hear about? And okay, so you write about growing seasons. You write about different soil types, how to look after the soil, tips on how to plant new flowers, how to look after how to find the right place to find shade for plants. If you're writing about fact, you need to make sure that your arguments are backed up with evidence. So, for example, do research and write down some citations on it in your notebook or other piece of paper, whatever, and then reference them when you're making an argument. It's very important that studies are done properly, that we conduct studies through checking the controls versus the different groups being tested. That way we know the difference between them and what's different. Then checking the sources means that at least then you have evidence to back up. It's true, it's backed up, it's backed up with evidence, it's public records, so you don't have to worry about making up any bullshit. Secondly of all, it's important to ensure that what you say has worked with grammar, capital letters, all that stuff. Make sure it's not too long. If you write a massive paragraph block, I do that sometimes, and trust me, even I am like, well, this is a bit too convoluted for my liking, isn't it? But if you write each paragraph as a different topic, and also keep it on one topic as well, so that way you don't go off on a tangent. Try to keep it on the main topic. If you're writing about an artist, try to keep it relevant to the artist you're talking about. So if you're talking about, say, Vincent van Gogh, for an example, you're not going to just start talking about Gauguin unless it relates to Van Gogh and Gauguin working together. They were rivals in real life, I know that, but it's the same thing. It's always important that if you're writing, you try to ensure that it's true, that it's backed up. You've got to look at the source, because if you look at the source of information, then, oh yeah, that might be true. Somebody else said that. Sometimes people use clickbait as a way to garner viewers. So it's important to ensure that what you're saying is your opinion. You know what your opinion is, and then you know what is fact and what is based on the truth. For example, if you're writing about plants, you're not going to just make up things with magic. You're going to talk about how plants are actually, the science of how plants grow, the history of how plants were discovered, and cells as well, history of how cells were discovered, the actual science behind plants and how they convert for example, how plants convert their CO2 into sugars and oxygen, the harvests, the science of why that happens, and then you could probably test it out yourself. If you can replicate those results from real life, it's science. Okay, I'm done now. This is a ROBcast. 5 minutes and 2 seconds.